I don't know how Arahant will look like with dementia. The jhanas are powerful deterrent to mental regression. The memory has been getting from bad to worse, and it's not surprising because memory is not permanent. It is fueled by causes and conditions, and when the causes and conditions for memory starts faltering, the memory will fail too, and that's why we have dementia and Alzheimer's disease. The impairment of the brain function, which leads to also the impairment of motor functions. So why are people so worried about the memory going? That's because you do not remember how to carry out the activities of daily life. The proximate cause for memory is consciousness. So when the consciousness starts fading, starts faltering, it becomes weaker, you're not so conscious of what you're doing and what is happening around you, then it leads to memory loss. Or why does consciousness fade? It is also partly due to brain function. You see, the mind affects the body, and the body affects the mind too. It works both ways. So when the brain starts to impair, brain functions go down, it will definitely affect the mind. Brain function failing can be due to many different causes and conditions. It could be due to diet, lifestyle, alcohol, cigarettes, genetic factors, maybe even environmental factors, climate factors, stress, worry, restlessness. So you see, a lot of factors and conditions can lead to a multiplicity of effects, which in turn become conditions for more effects. And that's dependent origination. Even though the 12 lanes of dependent origination have been well documented and widely known, what they describe are basically the proximate cause that leads to a certain effect. But it doesn't mean that there's only one cause. It's usually a multiplicity of causes and conditions that lead to a multiplicity of effects, which in turn cause more effects. So the effects just keep on multiplying until you put a complete stop to them. You know, in the 12 links of dependent origination, if you drop one of the links, everything else drops. Okay, it doesn't mean that you drop one link and it's only the next link that is affected. No, when you drop one link, for example, you drop feelings, you let go of feelings completely, everything drops. Or you'll be better that you lose attachment to life. When you lose attachment to life, there's no death. Everything drops. Whole mass of suffering drops. And that's what's wonderful about Dhamma. You only have to lose this attachment to life. And then you can stop suffering. It's not scary to lose your memory or consciousness or feelings or perception or judgment, or to lose any of the mental concomitants. Important thing is, so long you have seen and understood that there is no self, there is no worry about losing anything. There's no worry about losing all the mental faculties or your bodily and physical functions. There's no worry about losing all your possessions or family or whatever relations that you have. No. You see, with the ease that comes from knowing non-self, losing all this material and immaterial stuff don't matter anymore. They do not create unrest in the mind. They do not create worry or stress or unhappiness that, oh, I'm losing something and it's going to be the end of the world. No, not. It's not the end of the world even if you lose your memory and you behave like a baby who cannot take care of yourself. It's not. Because eventually you'll pass away. And if you have realized non-self, you don't have to worry about where you're passing away to because there's nowhere to go. And if you have not realized non-self, then isn't it better to pass away, to die, and lose all your memory? When you go on to your next birth, what will you remember? You don't remember. So see, everyone has an impaired memory. Unless you can recall all your past lives. If you can recall all your past lives, oh, then you have really excellent psychic power. And you have such strong psychic power. Then you should be an Arya already. So if you're Arya already, there's no need to worry. And if you're not Arya and you lose your memory, then there's karma. And then you just live until the day you die, and then you get reborn and you will have no memory of your past life. So what's the difference? So there's no need to worry and be stressed about losing one's memory, perception, judgment, feelings, consciousness. The mind is conditioned. Same goes with the body. The body is conditioned too. All these are conditioned phenomena. The 5 aggregates are conditioned. So when you see that they are conditioned, that they are impermanent, they are suffering, and that they are non-self, then you can let go. Stop clinging on to the 5 aggregates. What's the point in clinging to something that you cannot control? Of course, you can do your best. You stay healthy, you keep a healthy lifestyle, you eat properly, you sleep properly, and you exercise regularly, and you meditate, okay? You know how to manage your feelings, your thoughts, your perceptions, and you can stay calm, cool, and composed because you meditate, and that's great. But what you do all these physical and mental exercises, is to realize non-self. When you become at least a Sotapanna, an Arya, then there's nothing to worry about. Even if you lose all your memory, you lose all your physical functions, etc. Just look at Ajahn Chah. He's one of the greatest meditation masters from Thailand that we know. He is an Arahant. And he was bedridden for the last 10 years of his life. But was he worried or restless or upset about it? No. He showed us how one can embrace the Dhamma even when one is not well physically and mentally. In one of his books, he also described the failure in perception. For example, he knows that this person is called Paul, but somehow when it came out of his mouth, it became Peter. So you see, there are all these mismatches between the mind and the physical too. but he has no attachment towards all the mental and physical aggregates. And that's what's admirable, and that's what we have to learn from. He sets a very good example for the complete fulfillment of non-self. He is a wonderful teacher. If you read his books, every word of his rings with truth. So I highly recommend that you read his books or listen to his Dhamma talks or his videos. There's still a lot of this, of his teachings. So back again to memory. Memory will fail, just like everything else. When you understand the nature of memory, that it doesn't last, that it is dukkha, it is suffering, and memory is non-self, that memory is just memory, it doesn't belong to anyone, then you'll be fine. Because you have let go completely, and you realize that, okay, fine, yeah, my memory is not as good as yesterday, and what can I possibly do about it? If we're really that concerned, the best way is still to meditate. I think the best way to combat memory loss is to meditate and to enter the jhanas. The jhanas are powerful deterrent to mental regression. They are the best mental exercise that you can possibly undertake. What is meditation? Meditation is nothing but mental development. So when you develop your mind, you can enter jhanas, which signifies a strong level of concentration and pleasure and bliss. You are highly unlikely to suffer from dementia and the failing of the mental faculties. But that's not to say that you won't feel. It will still deteriorate. The mind will deteriorate. The body will decay too. This is all part of life. But when it happens, you can just see that, I don't remember what I ate yesterday. I don't remember what I ate for breakfast or lunch or dinner. I don't remember what I did last week. But that's okay. So what if I don't remember? You just let go. Just you know it and then you let go. Because what can you possibly do about really that has already passed? Can you do anything about what has passed? No. Can you do anything about the future? You can have some sort of aspiration or goal about the future. But what is important is to focus on the present. Is that you're mindful of the present. Our hands are completely mindful in the present moment, even if memory fails. I don't know how our hand will look like with dementia. But even then, there is no anger or greed or delusion. Our hands can enter coma too. They can lose consciousness. But it doesn't affect the realization of Nibbana. They are still in Nibbana, even if all the five aggregates fail. So the important thing is to see the non-self, the non-entity, the lack of a soul, of an ego, of a spirit, and there's no worry. Thank you for watching. Sukhihotu.